Hello and welcome to the Let's Talk Fabulous show. I am your host this week, Gloria Grace Rand, and I am so excited because we are going to be talking about the power of pets. And as a pet owner myself, I just know that it's going to be so wonderful, and especially because I'm not talking alone. I've got a wonderful panel of wonderful women here who are going to be sharing their stories and expertise. So what am I waiting for? Let's talk. Hello again. I am so happy to be with you, all of you who are watching, whether you're watching live or on replay, because we're going to be talking everything that has to do about pets today, and hopefully we'll have enough time to get through it all. We're going to do our best, so let's put it that way. So I want to go around the room first of all, and our virtual room here, and introduce our wonderful panel. So I'm going to start with the lovely woman on my left. There we go. Yes, Joy, or not Joy. I've got Joy on the mind today. She knows who she is. Diane, will you introduce yourself and tell everyone where you're coming from?
Hi there. Yes, Joy is my mom's name. I'm Diane Chasick from Merritt Island, the Space Coast of Florida.
All right. Excellent. And next to her is Sondra.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Dr. Sondra Joyce from near Durango, Colorado. And Joy, as you can see the little sign above me, Joy is like it could be my middle name. So love the Joy.
see, it was subliminal. I think that's what it was. I was seeing that, and that's where it came from.
Joyce, Joy, whatever. Yeah, for
Absolutely.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
Sure. And then down below, Sondra is, I'll let you introduce yourself, Jean.
Sure. I am Jean Alfieri, dog author, and feeling very joyful today. So I'll continue with the trend here from lovely Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Oh, cool.
Excellent. All right. And then last but certainly not least, we've got Cheri.
Hello. I am the dog mystic, Cheri Marquez, and I'm in Delray Beach, Florida. So grateful to be here.
Excellent. Well, I'm in Melbourne, Florida, so we've got Central South Florida and Colorado covered today. I love it. So, well, I want to get started right away with all of our guests sent in some wonderful videos today. So I'm going to start with our first one so we can kick off the show and get to talking.
Hi there, Gloria. Thank you so much for inviting me to come talk about this awesome, amazing topic of pets and what they mean to people. Our pets are amazing. Do you know that about half of the U.S. pet owners say their pets are as much a part of their family as a human member? And women, 57% of women pet owners say their pets are just as much a part of their family as a human member, compared to 43% of men who own pets. I wanted to introduce you to my Winston. He is definitely a family member. He's about 13 years old. He's a Chihuahua. We rescued him about 4 years ago, and he is truly a part of my life and my family. So I look forward to talking to y'all more about pets. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, that was awesome, Diane. And I'm gonna put you right in here to share a little bit more about, and there's some interesting statistics that you shared. I'm not surprised about them at all, but wondering, what's been your experience, especially as a pet owner and having your wonderful Winston there with you?
I just mentioned, I hope you can't hear him snoring. He's always under my desk. But yeah, pets have been a part of my life for my whole life. I remembered when we were talking pets, my first pet was a gerbil. No, yes, a guinea pig. A guinea pig. Golden Boy was a guinea pig. And I had gerbils. My mom also had many Siamese cats. So I had a lot of cats growing up. I had a friend who had a horse, and that was her pet, and which was a little bit different as a pet. But, pets have been part of so many people's lives. Eventually, I continued on with cats. I had my sister gave me a Himalayan cat for graduation from school. And I had him for years and years. When I married my husband, we also had some cats. And then we discovered the joy of adopting pets, and we adopted our first black lab, and he became a big dog. I mean, going from cats to a bigger dog. And then we had labs for quite a few years. And then we discovered how we had mentioned earlier about sanctuaries and fostering. We learned about Best Friends Animal Sanctuary, and I have some stories about them. That's when we discovered rescuing senior dogs, and Winston is our third senior dog that we rescued so far. So we probably have more in our future. So that's Winston. We take him every year for the past 4 years. We've gone out to Best Friends Animal Sanctuary in Kanab, Utah, where we're given the opportunity to take dogs out on rides in the car, dogs that are waiting for their forever homes, dogs that are in there for one reason or another, and they're waiting for their forever homes to become somebody's pet and love, just like Winston is. Oh. So Best Friends Animal Sanctuary is one of my favorite places to foster and adopt. And they're also very strong on promoting no kill for all of the humane societies and other places where dogs and cats and birds go to. So instead of not being adopted, they don't have room for them, and it's terrible that they have to put them down. So adopt, rescue, and we love that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm with you 100% on that, because we have always, well, not, I wouldn't say always, but we have been adopting pets. We had found a dog in the parking lot of a restaurant one time, and we put up flyers, but nobody claimed our little shadow, and so we adopted him. And then we've also fostered dogs as well. So I believe in that so much. And I think one of our other panelists here has some experience, I think, with organizations like that. And I'm gonna go ahead and show her video right now.
Why are pets fabulous? Let me count the ways. They are always happy to see you. They never forget how to play. And they can teach you a couple of things about how to take a proper nap. But if pictures are worth 1,000 words, then let me share a couple with you here. This is the neighbor's dog. I'm pouty because he has to go home every night and can't stay with me. But as you can tell, he's traveled quite the distance to see me. Finally, after begging and pleading for years and years and years, I finally got my dog. And as you can see, he is everything I wanted him to be and more. So special. So whether it's the adopted dogs that we love, or the dogs that I work with at the Humane Society, which have inspired my newest book, it doesn't get much better than this. I mean, who wouldn't want to come home to this? Am I right? Pets are fabulous. Thank you.
I love that. Yeah, I can get the right buttons to push here today. There we go. Yeah, Jean, tell us a little bit about your experience, especially with working with the Humane Society.
Sure. I have to say, I've been in human resources for over 30 years. And one of the things I noted, having never worked at a nonprofit before going to the Humane Society, is how much they appreciate, just to tie in with Diane was saying, how much of a part of our lives they are. And I think when you look at policies from that standpoint, one of the things that impressed me most is that they have pet bereavement. And I think that absolutely speaks to the fact that not only do we live with these pets, we vacation with them, we care for them, right? And They're a part of our family. In fact, it was kind of funny today. We were having a laugh because I just put up this obnoxious portrait, and our youngest, we love vintage puppies, we call them. We like the senior dogs. Our youngest is a 10-year-old hospice pug. And as soon as he saw this, he took great offense. He was just barking and carrying on. Like, it's just a picture. But yes, he was highly offended. It was great.
I found this. Explain this picture, because I found this on your Facebook page. I love this.
This is Princess Zoe. That was her given name. When we adopted her, her medication came with the name Princess Zoe. I couldn't change it. It was fantastic. And so we're walking her down the street, and our neighbor girl comes over and gives her a hug and says, "I've always wanted a pug. When I grow up, I'm going to get a pug." And I said, "Really?" She said, "Yep, a pug and a bearded dragon." And I went, "Whoa, okay, didn't see that one coming, but fabulous." I hope you get both. So yes, that was the story behind that one.
I love it. I love it. Anybody else have any thoughts about, or even have any of you, who we haven't even heard from yet, Sondra or Cheri, about fostering, or have you had any experience with volunteering even, or anything like that?
I have not.
I have. I can speak to, in the fact, the pug I just referenced, our 10-year-old, he is a hospice pug. We had no intention of adopting him because we had 3 already in the house, and that seemed enough. But he came in late October, and in that time, he needed a lot of care. He was 10 years old. He needed dental work. He needed to be neutered. He had a slipped disc. And so as those problems were identified, he got on surgery list, but it was weeks in between. And I talked to my husband and said, "Hey, this dog is going to be stuck in a kennel for weeks." And, the pushback was, "Where are we going to put him? How's he going to fit?" And I said, "I don't know. I can't tell you. I know, but it seems like we should try." And so we brought him home, and he fit right in. He was fabulous. There was no issue. And it was 6 weeks when all of this was processed and he was healed and he was doing well. And I brought him back for what I thought was going to be the last medical visit. And throughout this time, there were bloody stools, and we knew something was wrong, but they thought it was worms. So he was being treated with a dewormer. That didn't fix it. So with the last visit, to confirm everything else was good, they did an X-ray of his abdomen and found a mass in his colon that was inoperable, which then made him not adoptable. And so with this news, I was quite heartbroken, and it took me about an hour to pull myself together before I called my husband, because I knew it wasn't fair. I'd promised it was just going to be a foster. And I called and explained to him the situation, and that he was not any longer going to be able to be adopted out because of health reasons. And I paused, and I could tell he was processing this, and he said, "So we're going to take him, right?" I'm like, "I love you." So that was our 4th adoption. So I guess that's a foster fail at the end of the day, because he didn't go back to the community to be adopted out, but he's lovely. He's lovely. Like I said, he's our baby. So we really enjoy him.
What a great story. I love that.
I'm also a foster failure as well, because I was training a Chihuahua Minkin mix, and her name was Honeybell. And so I was training her because she was reactive to everyone. She was found on the streets of Miami, and her foster mom had her for a year and a half. But all of the people that were working in whatever rescue it was, I forgot which rescue it was, but so no one can touch her. I mean, she was so aggressive to everyone. So she came to me for training. She paid for the training outside of the rescue, and so I rehabilitated her and got her social, so she wasn't reacting and biting and ankle biting and just being mean to everyone. I was able to take her out and about to shopping plazas, and she was allowing people to pet her. So with my one program, it's like a 2-week boot camp. So she was in that program once she went back to Corey, then we didn't keep up with the regular weekly schedules, like, weekly training. So she regressed so much. So by the time that I got back to her house to do the training, she regressed right back to where she was. And I was like, I'll take her and I'll foster her until we find, we could find a home. But like, she needs the consistency to not be so aggressive, because she was definitely a feisty little girl with the, whole Napoleon complex and everything. So brought her to the house, and she just had trust issues. I mean, you can tell that she was abused, and like on the streets of Miami, and because she was reactive, then I'm sure she got abused because she was reacting or biting whomever. So so it took some time to adjust to the household, but she absolutely fell in love with my ex-boyfriend. So so we wound up keeping her, and she was absolutely amazing. And their bond, they needed each other. That's the beautiful thing. They needed each other, and the love that was shown was just unbelievable. So no matter what,
Pets are special, especially mine. Rocky the squirrel and Buster the rock dog and Love Monkey. You all know Love Monkey. And today we're going to honor their special powers. The power of pets. Not just four-legged, winged ones, but a special two-legged critter that's named, and we all love her, Gloria. And because today is...
It's your day now, Gloria. Time to celebrate with the power of pets, dear. Watch the love inflame. Steampunk style, oh so grand. Brass and gears we dance. Ducks are waddling everywhere. Can't miss this chance. Happy birthday, Gloria. In a steampunk dream, ducks around and pets with love, a joyous gleam. The big band plays that booming sound, trumpets loud and clear. Happy birthday, Gloria, a joyous gleam.
Oh, goodness. Well,
Wow,
thank you so
that
much.
was awesome.
Thank you. Steampunk Co.
That
Yeah.
was special.
I thought about something if I could jump into the conversation.
Absolutely.
I haven't
Yes.
personally fostered, but I do a lot of traveling, and I'm always curious in different countries how people take care of their pets. Lots of ways it's very, very different than the U.S. But one of my favorite places is Turcones, Mexico, and there's a woman there who has two Airbnbs or hotels or whatever, and it's called Casa Kitty. And when you go to stay there, you just know that there's going to be cats everywhere, and they are everywhere. And so it's just there's a road in between the two, and everybody goes really slow, and there's signs up, Kitty Crossing, Casa Kitty. The cats are just totally a part of that whole little town, and they're loved in a different way than probably we love our cats, but they're a big part of the town.
I love that. Well, and since you're talking, Sondra, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna share your video here,
Oh, okay.
and we'll continue this conversation.
All right.
Hey, greetings, Dr. Sondra Joyce here, and thrilled to be a part of the Power of Pets. It's so funny how this came to me today from an earlier conversation I had with a dear friend who just lost her dog, and just reminiscing about my pets, and then this invitation from Gloria came my way. So what I would say is the power of pets in one aspect was, for me, I have a beautiful golden retriever. His name was Theo the Great, and a cat named Mr. Poe. We got him. His name was Edgar. We changed it to Mr. Poe. And these two were so much fun together. They would go on hikes with me. We'd call them both, and off we would go, and they would go on hikes. And I couldn't find a picture of Theo the Great, but this is something that he loved to do. We would be out on our boat, and we would put an inner tube on the back. And he was so attached to me that what would happen is I would get on the inner tube to go for a ride behind the boat, and he would cry and cry and cry until we let him on the inner tube. So there's all these, I couldn't find it, but videos and pictures of us running around Biocido Lake, the two of us on an inner tube. So much fun. I love pets. I love the energy and joy they brought into my life, and I can't wait to share.
Yes, and you sent me some pictures, so I thought I would share. So is this your?
That's my current kitty, Mr. Poe, who is he's 15 pounds, and he is just a great cat. Love him. And that's Theo the Great. I did get a picture. And that's them hiding out for a hike.
Love that. I think I love the cuddling here as well.
Yeah.
So I love that description of you on the inner tube, and I could just about picture that. Yeah. What else? Do you have any other fond memories or silliness that your pets have gotten involved in?
Well, the two things I was thinking about is one, and I'll get to that in a second, about how they communicate with us, which I think is really precious. But the other thing is just this love between a cat and a dog, which is kind of funny because we often think, the dog's going to chase the cat or whatever. But two quick stories. My first cat was named Papuki. I had lived in Hawaii for a while, and I named her that. And I'd had her for a couple of years, and I decided to get a dog. So I got a little teeny dog. I named him Seabiscuit. He was a poodle, but I never ever cut him like one. So he was just like this little 11-pound black furry little dog who was so fun. When I brought him home, Papuki just went into the corner of the living room and just looked at the wall. And she looked over her shoulder at me with disdain. How could you bring this bundle of energy into my world? And he's running around everywhere. And she was really upset about it for a little while. And then they started playing, and it was hilarious. They would chase each other around the house, and the cat would grab Mr. Seabiscuit by the fur right here and hold him, and he'd look, and they'd look, and then she'd let go, and they'd run around, and they just became the best of friends, which was really sweet. And then fast forward to this Mr. Poe and Theo and the love that they had for each other. And Theo is no longer with us. And so I don't have that anymore. I just have my beautiful cat. But they loved each other deeply. And it's really interesting to see the bond that our animals can create with each other. But then the other thing I think is so potent with our pets is if we get still enough inside and we're really willing to connect, is how they speak to us. It's just there is this beautiful communication of love and a beautiful knowing of something deeper. And when Theo was alive, I had a friend come over, and we have another guest that'll be talking probably more about this, but she did like some kind of analysis, and she told me what Theo was thinking. This was just before he was about to pass on. And she said, he's really loved you, but he wants to make sure that that everybody in the family is really with him during this time. And so we put this, of course we would have anyway, but that's what she said, really be with Theo the Great, we called him, as we prepared for his passing. And I think I have friends who have lost pets. My friend Vicky has lost these beautiful huskies. So many friends have lost pets, and it is traumatic. It is traumatic, as was mentioned. They are part of our family, and when they pass on, to that other world, it definitely leaves a hole.
Mm.
I chose not to get another dog because I do travel quite a bit, but I have a great IDAL connection with my cat, and us cat lovers know how that can happen. It's not that fun, kind of, but it's like this really deep, almost mystical experience to connect, in a way where they really, I mean, I look at him and he looks at me, and we got each other.
Absolutely. Oh, I experienced that just a few weeks ago. I think I know it was actually my one cat. We sort of he zigged and I zagged, and unfortunately we collided. And I just he just hurt my toe, and I went and I went like really loud. My other black cat came running in to my office to find out what was going on, and I thought that was so sweet because sometimes she's a little more my Siamese, the one who I ran into. He's Mr. Lovey-dovey, but the black cat, the tuxedo, she's a little more standoffish. She comes to me when she wants attention, but I otherwise, don't mess with her. So it was nice to know that she did care enough to find out what was wrong with me. I'm going to go. I would want to share one last video today, and that our guest sent, and then we'll get to talking about this because I have a feeling she has also something to share about communication too. So let's look at that next video.
The world has blessed us with the perfect teachers. Dogs are in the present all the time, and their secret power is to pull us in with them. I am the dog mystic, Cheri A. Marquez. Within my 22 years of training over thousands of dogs, one thing that I've learned is that dog owners are able to connect with their dogs on the soul level, as long as they take the time to bond with their dogs, to allow the dogs to draw their attention on them instead of all the stressors going on in life. They want to be a part of the family. We only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. Allow the dogs to get your attention and get you out of your monkey mind. When they are trying to get you focused on them, stop. If you're able to, put your phone down. Start petting them, breathing with them. Allow them to draw your attention onto them and enjoy.
I love that. Now, let me bring you in here to share a little bit more about that.
Hello. So it's so important to really allow not only your dogs, but allow your animals to bring you into the present moment. We're so focused on in our minds, in our monkey minds, so distracted with technology and on the phones, and there's not enough eye contact. Everybody has their head down into the screen. So this is just 5 minutes. Even if you purposely take 5 minutes and put your phone away, put it on silence, sit down on the floor. If you allow the dogs on the bed or on your animals on the beds, then wherever you want, sit down and just start petting them and just be present with them. Because you're just be here now, be in the present moment, and it's just absolutely amazing. Allow them to regulate your nervous system, to calm you down. And while you're petting them, you're calming your nervous system down, but you're also calming their nervous system down as well. So it's a win-win situation in all aspects,
Yeah, absolutely. And because there have been research studies I know have been done, I think, that show that there really are true health benefits of owning a pet beyond the emotional stuff. But I think it really, as you said, when you can be present with them, that it really does help you ease your stress, and that brings your blood pressure down and everything. And so that's so good. I wondered if you could talk about this little guy. I saw this picture. Is there a story behind this one?
So that is my baby girl, Emma. She is, she's she's over the Rainbow Bridge right now, but she's my angel. She's always watching over me. She was my demo dog. I mean, she's just my everything. Just the bond that you can have with your animals is so precious, so meaningful. And she was there every step of the way to bring me through the ups and downs and trials and tribulations. And even though she wasn't a service dog, she was like a service dog, just the emotional support. So like my dog Prince right now is I got him while Emma was still alive, and he brought so much energy, and I mean, she got so much pep in her step and was playing with him like you would not believe. But the two of them together are just amazing because they're so receptive. All dogs have a sixth sense. They know exactly what's going on, and they can feel a person's energy. I mean, like even when, as soon as you open the door to your house, that dog knows whether that person is a good person or a bad person. Mm-hmm. So with both Prince and with Emma, anytime that I was feeling sad or wasn't feeling well, then they were right there, and they nudged my my hand or my arm and like, come on, I want your attention, but focus your attention on me instead of what's going on in the mind.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love
Cheri,
that.
if I may, I want to thank you for giving us permission to be distracted, because it's been interesting to me when this our most recent dog joined the group, our pug. You know, when you get a hospice dog, you don't take things for granted. And it was funny because the rest of the pack knew the routine, especially after breakfast. Mom needs to get going because she's got to get out of the house, but he didn't. And he shows up with this pink bunny every morning after breakfast, and he just follows me around with it. And I'm like, okay, we're going to enjoy this because we don't know how long it's going to be, right? And it's true of everything. Yep, there he is, the pink bunny. So every morning we do tussle time with the pink bunny and I have to say, I have not been late yet. It has never put me behind. That time has been very precious. So thank you for the permission to do that.
You know, one thing I wanted to bring out here today is that we've been talking for a while on the Let's Talk Fabulous show about legacy. And before we even started today, we were kind of talking about that before we went live, a little bit about the legacy and how we can sort of honor our pet's legacy. I know, I think, Diane, you mentioned something about that. Can you want to share that?
Sure. Yeah. As I said, we've had a variety of dogs that have gone over the rainbow, and some of them I've really truly connected with their soul. The other ones, not so much. I mean, there are some dogs like Chewbacca. He was, not really deep, whereas his bedmate Shadow was truly someone I could look into his eyes and see, and Shadow is truly with me. We do have, because and you mentioned, I believe, Cheri, how dogs know when they're going, who they want to be with. I believe truly they also want to be with their other pets in the home. So when I was going, we have a wonderful, wonderful vet who comes to the house to do compassionate euthanasia. And it was so important for Shadow to be with Chewbacca when he was going over. As well as it was for him to be with us, So that was our legacy, for them to be together. In our house, we have the plaster of Paris paws, where the compassionate vet would give us those mementos to keep. The other thing I wanted to share about a special place that we go to in Utah, it's called Angel's Rest, where there's thousands of animals and mementos from people that have lost their animals. And just the peace and serenity, all the animals talking to you there, it's palpable. It's so amazing. The legacy that people truly want to leave with their pets. They want to remember them. They want them to still be around. So it's important. It's very important. It's as important to all of us as it is, losing a human, I think.
Yeah. And I agree with that, because we actually had a dog named Shadow as well, and she was the one that we found in a just wandering through a restaurant parking lot when we got done with eating. Here this dog is, and we had our 2 kids were with us at the time, and we were like, oh, mommy, and it was like I'd been resisting having a dog because I'd always been a cat person. I was like, well, okay, we'll take her home for now, and if we can't find her a home, then maybe we'll keep her. But when she passed, we have a picture of her up on the mantelpiece of our fireplace, so that Shadow was always in our hearts, like she was in your hearts. Does anybody else have any stories about that? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. So since we adopt senior dogs, I can't say it gets any easier, but we've had over a dozen dogs in our house. And when one will pass, we have a celebration of life, if you will, at dinner, and we talk about our favorite memories. And it's always so fun to me to hear, because I think I've got the best memory of the dog. And we go around the table and everybody has this fabulous memory. I started doing a journal. So when you talk about a legacy, because when our first pug, who was truly, if there's such a thing as a soul dog, my soul dog, I knew it was time for him to go, but what broke my heart was losing all those fabulous adventures. And so I journaled them. And I actually have a little pamphlet for veterinarian offices that I give out to help kids through the passing of a pet, because it's just heartbreaking. When that face is in the window waiting for them to come home from school every day and it's no longer there, it's really hard. So it's important to be able to process through that loss.
Absolutely.
I love that. That is such a good idea. Sorry to interrupt, but that's beautiful to help the children process that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to interrupt you though for 1 second, because I'm seeing a bunch of purple hearts come by. So we want to honor someone right now with a little video. Yeah, we here at the Let's Talk fabulous show, we like to honor all those folks who they belong to this Purple Heart Club, and they're very special to us. So yeah, it is amazing. Our pets are so wonderful to us. So go ahead, Cheri. You had something else? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but
no, it's fine. It's no problem. So first, I just want to say, think about the name that you're going to give your dog or your pet, because they live up to their name. Because my first son is Chaos, and he was a pit bull, black and brindle pit bull, and he lived up to his name. And you were saying in regards to Chewbacca, Chewbacca is big and bad and tough. So they put that energy to their name. And Chaos chewed up everything. And 2 years, it took 2 full years, because pit bulls and labs are puppies for 2 years, where normally it's 14 months that they go from puppy to adulthood. So he definitely lived up to his name. But he is, between him and Emma, they're just my everything. I've had so many animals since I was born, but those two and Prince right now, are like just like my heart, to the point where like I want, like, even though I do have tattoos, and even though I said like my last tattoo was when my son was 2 years old. He's 13 now, so I'm like, no, I'm not getting any more. But like after Emma passed, I was like, I want her. I want another tattoo of Emma and Chaos, just to see their faces of like all the time, because they're my love, they're my life. They're my angels watching over every step of the way.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know what I'm going to do, since we have been talking about legacy, I'm going to play. It's Poe Day, clearly, because Sondra, you've had a pet named Poe, and we have another a different type of entry from Poe today. I'm gonna share that in just 1 second here. There we go.
In the quiet moments, when the sun begins to rise, we find the strength within us. In the stories of our lives, not in gold or glory, but in hearts we've touched with grace, in the love we share with others, in each kind and gentle face. Your legacy is the love you leave behind, in the hands you've held and the souls you've helped to find. It's the laughter in the children, the wisdom in the old. It's the light you sparked in others, in the stories that are told. Through the trials and the triumphs, in the battles that we fight, it's the courage and the kindness that will always shine so bright. In the lessons that we teach, and the dreams that we inspire, in the way we lift each other higher and higher. Your legacy is the love you leave behind, in the hands you've held and the souls you've helped to find. It's the laughter in the children, the wisdom in the old. It's the light you sparked in others, in the stories that are told. In the final song you sung, and the curtains drawing near, it's the moments filled with love that will echo year to year. In the footprints on the path that guide the lost and blind, your legacy will live on in the hearts you've left behind. Your legacy is the love you leave behind, in the hands you've held, in the souls you've helped to find. It's the laughter in the children, the wisdom in the old. It's the light you've sparked in others, in the stories that are told. So let's live with open hearts and give with all our might, for the legacy we leave is a beacon in the night, in the echoes of our actions, in the whispers of the wind. Our legacy of love is where it all begins. Our legacy of love is where it all begins.
Legacy will live on in the hearts you've left behind.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that was so beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, really,
Oh.
really touches me every time I hear it. I
I got
knew
tears.
this was going to happen, that our show is like going by so fast already. So we're heading into the last quarter here. So who else? One of the things I was thinking, I'm going to go ahead and I'll have you chat here, Sondra, and then I want to talk about maybe a little bit more about kids and pets as well. But I know, Sondra, I saw your hand up. So what did you want to share?
Well, it was more like a question to everybody because, a lot, we haven't talked about horses that much. And I have lots of friends who have very deep connections with horses. And I will share one little tidbit, but I was wondering if anybody else had anything that they wanted to share about horses and what you know. But I asked one of my friends who has dogs and horses what the difference was. And she said, a dog will come to you and, the invitation kind of comes from the dog. The horse waits for you to come into their field. And then they kind of decide, yeah, I'm going to let this person in or not. And, I know that there's just amazing connections between horses and people. And I just don't know much about it except for that was shared. But I did want to honor horses and just see if anybody else had anything, if that's okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Diane. Yeah.
As I mentioned, growing up, I had access to a friend's pet pony, and that horse and I had truly a connection that lived on in me all my life. And to this day, and I keep mentioning best friends, but it's a fascinating place. At the sanctuary, they have horses that have been brought there, hopefully with the intention of them being released to someone to adopt. And a lot of them are beyond that, but being able to work with those horses and groom them and touch them and being in their space, the ones that allow as a volunteer for me to be in their space, it is a magical existence. I mean, the way that they communicate through their eyes. I know there's a facility here called Harmony with Horses, and they take care of children that have challenges, whether it's on the spectrum and things like that, and the horses connect with them. Horses are magical beasts. They truly, truly are. And I think there's a difference between, we're talking the power of pets now. There's, and again, there's pets that are horses. There's horses that are work horses, and the same with dogs and cats. There's dogs that are therapy dogs that are not pets. Mm-hmm. There's dogs that are service dogs that are not pets. And I don't want to get into that, but you did want to also mention about pets with kids. I read that there was back to dogs, and I'm kind of all over here, but there was a research that had two groups of children. And one group, the kids read to dogs. They were in a classroom, and the kids read to these dogs. And then there was another group where the kids read to puppets that looked like dogs. And the kids that read to the real animals showed better social skills and more sharing, cooperation, and volunteering. And they also had fewer behavioral problems later on versus the ones that read to the puppets. So wow. I think that is true with horses as well.
It also helps improve their reading. We have a program at the Humane Society that kids can come in and read to animals. And we've got a kitty area, rabbits, guinea pigs. They can read to any animal they choose. And it really is very popular. It's a wonderful service.
Wow. And I also read that teens with diabetes caring for fish in their classroom, showed that the discipline of care can reflect on their own checking of their own diabetes, their glucose levels. So animals used can in a variety of ways to help humans is amazing. It truly is.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. And, one thing I did want to, I'm going to add this, and actually I'm going to go ahead and kind of not pick on you, but I'm going to see if Cheri, if you can talk about this, because I did not know this, and I saw this this picture. Can you talk about that a little bit? Because I had no clue about this, and I think this is really something important that maybe others don't know about it. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. So when dogs are born, then their bones are not fused together. So I'm not sure exactly what month, like, like it's later in the months, but all of their bones are not fused together. So, like, when a puppy is having an accident, then you really need to take that into consideration of not hitting your dog and using your tone inflections instead of hitting, because they're all of their bones are not fused together. So anything that happens to them when they're puppies and then in their bodies, then it really has a lasting effect for their whole entire body, their whole entire life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that Caroline had this message I saw come by where she said, also, don't leave young children alone with a dog, because again, they don't have that necessary cognitive skills yet to understand. And, and if they have stuffed animals already, they may think that they can just treat the regular dog the same way. And especially if they're dealing with puppies too. So thank you for posting that, because I didn't know that it takes a while. I think it's like sometimes even up to 14 months for some breeds for them to be able to get together. But so just be careful, be mindful, because our pets are so amazing and we want to be able to keep them around as long as possible. Oh gosh. Okay. We've just got a few more minutes. So I'm going to go round robin and just have you each kind of share, in about a minute or so, of what last little gem, maybe advice you have for pet owners, or any other last thing that you want to share. Want to go first, or I'll pick on you.
Don't pick me.
I can go. I would say at any age when you adopt, just be patient. They want to be everything you want them to be, but they're not familiar with you or your home yet. So be patient, take it slow, and enjoy them. Just enjoy them.
Yeah, absolutely. Diane, do you want to share something?
Sure. I'll just reiterate: adopt, don't shop. There's so many needy animals out there. Cats, there's so many cats that need wonderful homes, and dogs, horses, guinea pigs, whatever they are. There's needy homes. And like Jean said, be kind to them. They don't know. They've had a history that you don't know about. And even puppies, if you buy a puppy, be kind to that puppy. It doesn't know not to soil your carpet. It really is learning, and just be patient. They don't understand English, we think.
And some of them though do. I've seen some documentaries that some animals really do understand.
Once they get to know you, they do understand you for sure. They even have to spell around our dogs.
Yeah. I love that. Let's see, Sondra, you want to share anything?
Sure. Just what was coming to me was something that my friend Katie said when I first got Theo. She said, a dog will change your life, and a dog is pure positive love. And connect with them on that level of pure joy and pure love, and both their life and your life will be immensely expanded because of that connection.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Cheri, what else do you want to share?
Well, to add to that, dogs are, but like dogs and pets, but I mean, because we're talking about pets here, but dogs and pets are eternal Peter Pans, there to show you love, to give love, and just to be playful. So allow them to be playful, to bring you into the present moment. Be patient, like you said, adopt, don't shop, and be patient. Be patient. If you adopt a rescue dog, you don't know exactly what happened to them. So take the time to gain their trust, and we're all interconnected. So just show the love and allow them to open up and bring you into the present moment, because like that's what they're here for. They're angels. They're angels placed on this earth to just bring us into the present moment and give us as much love as possible.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna share mine since I've been sharing all of yours. So I'm gonna just see, like I said, this is my Jackson, who's my lovey-dovey, and he has to get in the way. And then this was Fiona when she was a little younger. She likes to play with computers too. And she also likes to go up high. I don't know if you have ever had cats who love to like jump on top of refrigerators and things. So, but then typically this is what they like to do. they like to sleep, and they'll even sleep together, even though they don't always get along. But when they're quiet, they can behave themselves. I want to just, we still actually have, technically we got about another minute. So if you had to describe a relationship with your pets in one word, and I'm so glad you brought Winston back. Awesome. So what would one word summarize your thoughts about pets? Diane, I'll go with you first.
One word: compassion.
Awesome. Sondra?
Magical.
Oh, I love that. Cheri?
Angels.
Love it. And Jean?
I'd go with companionship. They are with every part of us. I feel like even when I'm not around them, that I'm thinking of them, right? So just that constant companionship.
Yeah. And I think for me, it's definitely love. And maybe I'll make it 2 words: unconditional love, because, and it goes both ways, love for them and their love for us. They're so wonderful and magical. And I am just so blessed to have them in my life. And I'm blessed to have all of you in my life, as well as all of those of you who are watching and commenting today. And make sure I think I forgot to say at the beginning, say if you were live or replay. And we're just so grateful to have you in our lives as well. And after that, I think we're going to see you all next week, and just have a fabulous, fabulous week.
I want to say thank you for joining us today, and welcome you back next Sunday as we once again are joined by a panel of subject matter experts that will explore and focus in on our fabulous lives. Until next Sunday.